Salutations! Welcome to the doll channel of Fig and Me, aka Faz, where I talk about natural fiber art dolls, doll making, dressmaking, and using your art as mindfulness practice. I hope you enjoy your stay here. It's been a while since I've done a studio blog, and I wanted to touch base with all of you and show you some of little bits of what's been happening in my doll studio over the last few months. I've been quite busy, as you will see from the footage, making custom dolls, articulated dolls, and lots of squishy dolls for little hands as well. I shall take you back to the beginning of the fall when I was working on a few mushroom babies and my dearest Wednesday Addams. If you've been following me on Instagram, you will know that I recently started playing with downsizing the wee baby Waldorf-inspired doll pattern in my Etsy shop by printing it at a smaller percentage so I could make a few Angora baby bats. Well, I wanted to try it with a few mushroom babies too. This is not the first time I make mushroom babies. It's actually one of the first style of dolls I started making back in 2009, but back then I was making them as bunting dolls or fully fledged dolls with mushroom hats. I've never made them in the wee baby doll pattern. This time I wanted them to have big Toadstool hats. As you know, I'm very inspired by the beautiful nature that surrounds me, the boreal forest in northern Canada. So off I went, creating a smaller body, stuffing with wool as is my fiber of choice, and giving them big Amanita muscaria hats using repurposed knits and fat embroidery stitches. As a little design detail, I added eyelet lace colors, and I think one or two of these sweet mushroom dolls are going to be sitting under the Christmas tree this December. At the same time I was working on the mushroom dolls, I was putting a lot of energy into knife pleats. Why, you ask? Well, because I had two dolls with this doll clothing design in mind. One of them was my interpretation of Wednesday Addams as portrayed in the Netflix show, and another one was a soulful custom doll by the name of Mary. But back to Wednesday. I knew I wanted to make her school uniform in Nevermore, and I tried my best to find a suitable natural fabric to no avail, so I resorted to using this polyester fabric, not my best sewing time, I confess. I first pleated the wool suit for Mary, so I was definitely in love with the process, but pleating Wednesday's skirt proved to be more annoying as the fabric doesn't hold the pleats the same way. Tip to my future self: if you're going to use polyester fabric, then sew each individual pleat all the way to the bottom, like top stitch them for added definition. Then came drafting her precious suit jacket. I've made this style quite a few times before. Perhaps you remember Kai, my daughter's doll. Anyways, I made a little mock-up just because Wednesday is a mannequin and I have to make sure they can get in and out of clothes since their outfits are way more fitted than usual, and while Ainur armature gives them lots of mobility, they need to be moved in a certain way. Once the mock-up was made, it was merry time to finish sewing her outfit. Wednesday had a little sidekick friend, a little rat doll named Thursday. I know. I had so much fun creating this very different style of cloth doll that I might give it another go on a future doll, or maybe next year with one of my custom orders. Speaking of custom orders, Mary was a doll I enjoy enormously in my studio. From her Edwardian-inspired doll dress, her petticoat and straw hat, to her wool suit as Sunday's best, complete with a vintage velvet hat. As I've mentioned already on my blog, Mary was inspired by a beautiful pop-up book as suggested by her mom, and I spent many days reading the story and letting all those gorgeous illustrations fill my doll dreams. Both Mary and Wednesday and all those wee mushroom dolls are now safely in the hands of their new families, so it was time to turn the doll making wheels to new sights. I wanted to make wee babies with hair, so I used my trusty crochet hook and made soft and fuzzy doll wigs using doll making mohair and the technique I teach in this doll pattern. If you do not know how to crochet doll wigs, you can watch this tutorial here on this channel. I gave them tiny wool collars and acorn hats. They're currently on the way to their new homes along a bundle of baby hedgehogs weighted with glass beads. I also work on a very special girl, Sonnet. Her lovely hair was so awesome to work with, I decided to give her removable hair buns and made a wee tutorial for Patreon on how I made them. I love muted colors as much as I love deep and dark colors. So sewing all of Sonnet's clothes was a real treat. Soft grayish pinks, cream, and lots of different laces to add texture and visual interest. As always, you can read more about Sonnet on my blog. Right now I'm working on another custom doll, which is inspired by a child I had the pleasure of making a doll for 12 years ago. She's now graduated college and her mom wants finally a doll for herself. I'm loving making this doll for her, inspired by her amazing daughter, and I hope to show you soon on the vlog. I'm also working on a batch of baby reindeers and deers, but they're not ready just yet. I chose the beautiful Fair Isle materials with tiny wee cherries on it to sew the bodies for the baby deers, and the larger reindeers will be in the most yummy dark brown cashmere. I think the reindeers might come with lively polka dot capes or crochet wee colors like the acorn babies. It's hard to tell yet. I am also working on a very special doll, which I've decided to name very officially Miss Ainur of House Stockhorn. Her name sounds super posh, but she's very down to earth and quite a lovely girl. I hope I can introduce you soon. So tell me, have you been busy too this season? Between Halloween and Thanksgiving, things go full steam ahead in the doll studios of the world, and I'm sure in the seamstresses' rooms, knitter baskets, bakers' pantries, and all over the world as we all kick into creation mode. I do feel there is some sort of very expansive and cheerful energy at this time of the year. Perhaps that's just me. What do you feel? The snow has already been falling here in this lake hamlet, which has prompted many wintry doll clothing dreams, tea by the fire doll soirees, and quiet time embroidering away using my most recent birthday present, a wooden stand for my embroidery hoop. Do you have one? I highly recommend. See you in my next video, and thank you so much for coming and spending a few minutes with me in my doll studio. Bye!